Welcome to the hotline for today, Thursday, the 9th March 2023. So good to be with you today. I think I'm going to be parched today. Last week I was talking with Y in X and Y about cocoa. I take cocoa, make chocolate, and me had the cocoa this morning. Yeah? And I'm on fire out here inside the shopping center here at Duane Park. I don't know where Anna K can come. A pure fire out there. K's Pharmacy, right outside the pharmacy, but it's good to be on the outside. Thank you so much. Press up yourself, Rastaman. We know that you have choices. We thank you so much for joining us. We thank you too when you find reasons to stay when you come here. This is the hotline. Well, I note with great interest the sense of unease that is walking across some sections of the country, particularly with the teachers in many of the island schools who've taken themselves away from the classroom in direct protest action against the terms of the compensation restructuring exercise they are now engaged in with the government. Interestingly as well, this morning the Observer has on page 3 that the militant members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force have scheduled a media briefing this afternoon to set the record straight on their compensation negotiation with the Ministry of Finance. The headline says that they deny that they have rejected the government's wage offer, and what they say is they highlighted the concerns they observed with the package that was presented to them, and they've asked for some anomalies to be corrected, and that this is the 5th time they're requesting that those issues be addressed. And so they're having a press conference, it appears today, to highlight some of the most troubling issues. So that's from the police. We're talking about rank and file members of the police, and they total about 12,300 members of the police force, to include rank and file and those of the officers club. We now know, based on reports carried in the media yesterday, that the teachers have rejected the wage offer by the government after a vote which was held at one of the institutions. So the headline this morning says, sit-ins, sick-outs and outright protests by teachers at several schools across the island over the last 3 days to register their frustration with the current offer on the table for educators under the government's compensation system could escalate today. And this is because the 24,000-strong JTA's position hardened yesterday when delegates representing teachers from the 78 districts association across the country voted to reject the offer under the table under the government's compensation scheme. In a quote attributed to the president of the JTA, LaSonia Harrison, the delegates have spoken, and they can't guarantee normality in the education sector as of today. So there were 754 ballots. 346 of them rejected the Ministry of Finance and Public Sector's offer, and 227 voted to accept it. 4 spoiled, 1 rejected. And I've been thinking about the position of the teachers. and trying really hard to understand fully, and would love to hear from the teachers the reason for the rejection. I'd love to hear from them putting it in their own words and drilling down to brass tacks with me the real reasons for the rejection. Because as I said to Derek this morning, this country has seen decades of economic mismanagement of the affairs of the nation. Decades. So badly managed have the economic affairs of the country been that we got to a point where the only way we could survive was to try and borrow our way out of the economic stagnation in which we found ourselves. So we got to a point where our debt burden was so strong that every single picnic in a Jamaica, them grandfather, them father, and the picnic, we had around our necks a sort of a chain with the debt around us. We'd have to work generations upon generations at the rate we were going before we could even think of releasing the stranglehold on us. It means, therefore, because we were borrowing and because we had to pay back so much, then all across Jamaica, the roadways, the hospitals, the schools, the police stations, whatever public service you can think about, they were in a state of complete disrepair for decades upon decades. Some little patching went on, but there was never enough to do the crucial reparatory work for these infrastructure. And over these decades of economic mismanagement, we ended up having to enter into a standby arrangement with the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, in or around 2008, 2009, thereabouts. One of the stipulations from the IMF in that standby arrangement was that we needed to keep our wage to GDP ratio at about 9%. In other words, they were saying to us, trim your public sector. It is too large. You needed greater efficiencies. When people retire, when people die, when there's natural attrition, do not take anybody else, and you need to cut the money that you're paying in recurrent expenditure to your public sector. And we did whatever we could to satisfy the stipulations of the IMF. And it landed us in hot water here. Because when the realities reached Audley Shaw promised the nurses, when Edith Allwood Anderson got under his skin, he promised the nurses he was going to double their wages when he became finance minister. And Audley Shaw found himself in a political pickle, trying to keep the political promise he made to the nurses, irrespective of the plight of the other public sector workers. And as a result of the action of Audley Shaw, in doing what he did, as I recall it, the IMF closed the door on us, wouldn't even meet with us, because we were not keeping to the targets, that and maybe a couple of other things. And that first program was derailed. Right? And to get us back on track, Dr. Phillips had to step in and to become a virtual mendicant in front of the IMF. We had to pass a number of laws with the strictures within which we needed to abide for them to open the door back to us. And we needed them to open the door back to us because the cost of borrowing from the international market, it was too expensive. It wouldn't make any sense. It was operating like one of those loan sharks where you borrow $20,000 and you're paying 75% interest even if you borrow for 2 weeks. That's a bit of embellishment, but you get the point I'm making. And so we had to do so many things to settle ourselves and to do the things for Jamaica which IMF stipulated and which we knew were necessary, but which we couldn't do ourselves because politically we allowed political expediency at all points in time to get in the way of proper economic management. Right? And one of the things we did was to ensure that come close to an election, no matter if there's no money in capital expenditure to fix particular roadways, we have to go put some concrete on the top of the road to appease people right before election. Never mind 2 weeks after when rainfall, the road went dig up again. And we did a number of things to whitewash the situation, and those things got us nowhere. And here we are. For the first decade, probably since the 1970s, we're able to see, and I'm certainly able to have a clearer vision of what proper economic management of a country looks like, what proper economic management of a company feels like, and how proper economic management of a country can lead to an overhaul of a compensation package for public sector workers to try and give them enough, but at the same time maintain a decent capital expenditure budget so that you don't give the teachers the livable wage they ask for right now, and you cannot fix a road because it means that the car they're going to be driving on the road, they're going to have to end up spending more money at the mechanic to fix the road because the front end mash up because of the depletion of the capital expenditure. So it's a matter of constantly balancing one and two things, but showing to the people that if we continue on this particular trajectory, we are going to get to the point when every single public sector worker is going to be able to earn more than livable wage. But also we'll have proper roads on which to drive. We will have good healthcare system where it's really going to be free because there's more money to put in it. Where we're going to have proper public transportation system, more people, especially the poor, will be able to get around in a public transport because they don't have private motor vehicles available. But we must be reminded that it all cannot happen at once. So whereas I completely understand it should never be the case in a country that you have a teacher who has a first degree and who has a number of years of teaching experience under her belt, and she's not taking home more than $250,000 a month. No teacher should be asking for that to happen because it should be a given. But where we are now and where we need to go, it cannot all happen in one jump. And what I understand from Dr. Nigel Clark, what has been given or what is promised to be given in this compensation package, in 1 year alone, it is more than every public sector worker has been given over a cumulative 10-year period. The problem has come in because in the compensation system that we're moving away from, people had a lot of allowances. And when you get the allowances, you get it without paying tax on the allowances. But why is there a problem with that? You ever hear them tell you say something sweet in your mouth but bitter in your belly? And this is exactly how the allowances work. You get the money today, you use it off today, and when I say today, I mean the first 20, 30, 40 years of your working life. But when you retire, the sums that you have coming in for pension at a time when inflation is going to be much higher when you retire than inflation is now, you're getting a smaller pension on which you will not be able to survive. And whoever it is who sits in this chair at that time will be getting the calls from you to say they need an increase in pension because they can't survive. So what the government has done in this compensation package is to move out those allowances. Some of those non-taxable allowances, they have now moved them into your gross income. So when they put them into gross income now, it means that you are going to end up paying taxes on the portions that go over the tax threshold. But remember now, this same Nigel Clark, before he became finance minister, I cannot forget it, in the lead up to the election in 2016, they came with a proposal for the 1.5. And it was said by some people to be a ruse to get votes. It agitated a lot of people, the police, the teachers, who are now not satisfied with the offer. And I think so excited were they about the offer that they voted, I'm sure substantial portions of them, to give the JLP a march to Gordon House that a lot of posters never expected. Right? But what that particular move demonstrated to me is that Nigel Clark, who was then just a spokesman, he has the ability to think outside the box, to do the calculations, and to make the things happen. So what you have now is literally a situation where on your first $1.5 million of earnings, you do not pay any income tax. But on your next 4.5 million, you will pay 25% of that portion for income tax. And only the amounts above 6 million, I beg your pardon, will you pay income tax of 30%. The amounts above 6 million. So the problem a lot of people are having with the compensation packages, because they have taken out the allowances and put the allowances into gross salary, it means that they now have a larger portion of their income above the income tax threshold that is going to be subject to income taxes. So I think one of the calls that we have to make louder, teachers, louder, police, louder to all of the other groups who are not satisfied with the compensation package at the moment. Make the call for there to be an increase in the income tax threshold. I heard the minister addressing it in Parliament, and I heard him say not now, and I understand why it cannot be now, because we have taken out so much out of our capital expenditure budget to be paying it or setting it aside to pay to public sector workers. Large chunks. So it means that for every billion that we pay in recurrent expenditure to public sector workers, we cannot have that billion to fix a road. But it's an important takeout because of where the public sector workers are and their import to the society. But I heard the Prime Minister saying there will be an increase in the income tax threshold. When you get the increase in the income tax threshold, it means that you will have a larger quantum on which not 1 cent of income taxes will be paid. I think that is where we need to head. Leave the compensation restructuring review as it is now, because it seems to me It is a good and important thing. And I think if anybody is coming to give me, at any point in my life, a minimum of 20% increase in my salary, in a year post-COVID, in a year post-Ukraine, well, in the midst of Ukraine-Russian war, in a year when the economic depression and stagnation of the larger economies of the world may lead to a recession. Anybody coming to give me that? I don't need nobody to tell me that this is a good deal. That's from where I sit. You're going to be taking home probably less, some of you, but not because you don't have a larger increase. It is because more of your money is going into the tax net. So if you increase the income tax threshold, maybe next fiscal year or so, you will have more money to take home. I hope I can talk to some teachers this morning because I want to better understand from you why you have rejected the offer, if, as I understand it, things are the way I have articulated them. Those are my thoughts at the moment. Thank you, listeners. We're back with you on the hotline. We're right outside Kay's Pharmacy, right in the middle of the parking lot here. Duane Park Shopping Center in Kingston. Lots of shops around, as you'd expect. First time I'm coming over here, but I've driven here a number of times. Tony, I know you know this place, you know. Yeah? This is your stomping ground. Big up, gentlemen. Morning. Morning, my people. Yes, so can I thank you so much, the Population and Housing Census, Caribbean Dream, Sunshine Snacks, Access Financial, Link. That is my wine. Your wine is $1. Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Gateway Cooperative, from people who you're willing to share and we want to drill down as much as we can within the context of the program we have from here today. There's one other thing I want to just talk to you about quickly before I go to what we have here. Some calls, yeah? I've been telling you of my unease, my dis-ease with social media for a long time. There's so many things that are good about it, but so many things that can go extremely awfully with it. And I notice that people are in the habit of jumping onto this electronic veranda and then just call people name and then just put up people picture and then just make all sort of accusation against people and put up pictures of themselves claiming that they're proving that what they're asserting is true. I have seen an increase of that coming from students at the University of the West Indies as well. In one particular post, I see a young lady put up a young boy name, put up his Twitter handle, his Instagram handle, and put up him picture, and put up pictures of her alleging that he abused her. And put up a video, 2 videos to say she's showing that that is proof of what she's saying. I cannot begin to tell the absolute danger of everything. I'm not taking a side. I'm not interested in a side. I'm just saying it's not the right place for us to go as a first, second, or third stop for anything like that. Because the truth is that it may very well not be so. And people cannot get past some of these things. Some people are not going to be able to live because they become victim of the electronic veranda. Take your things to the police. There's a good reason why cases go to court. There's a good reason why mediation is recommended. There's a good reason why arbitration is recommended. Yeah? Frankly, when I even watch a video right now, nobody can tell me to accept the video as gospel because the way people can splice up video, them take on my head, put on DT body. Yeah? You cannot look at a video and say, yes, me see the video. I mean, no. It's a very dangerous thing. You have rights as an alleged victim. The alleged accuser has rights as well. Use the proper forum to protect the rights of all. I beg of you, man and woman, keep on affairs off of the platform until you have opened up the appropriate channels. And I want to warn you for your own good, because somebody's going to end up paying some millions of dollars to some people for use on social media. Anyway, let me take a couple calls now. I hope this is a teacher or police. This is a hotline. Good morning. Hello? Hi, morning.
Morning. This is online?
This is a hotline. Who is this?
Okay, I'm a teacher.
Welcome. Good to have you. You're at high school or primary school or?
High school.
Go ahead. Tell me now. Where do you stand? You reject or you accept?
I reject it.
Tell me why.
All right. What is unclear to many persons, they're just seeing the tail end of what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
The situation is that teachers are the trained graduates. On the trained graduate scale, they are at different levels on the scale based on their years of service.
Right. Trained graduate scale.
Trained graduate. That's a teacher with a bachelor's degree.
Teacher with a bachelor's. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So ordinarily, a teacher, just a trained teacher, just a trained teacher, what the trained teacher has, not a trained graduate teacher.
No, listen. This is how it goes in the education system.
Mm-hmm.
A teacher that has acquired a qualification from an accredited institution,
mm-hmm.
a bachelor's degree falls on the trained graduate scale. If you acquire a master's, you are still on the trained graduate scale.
Mm-hmm.
There is not a scale for a teacher with a master's. So you would get a master's allowance.
You get master's allowance?
You get an allowance. And this allowance, based on the current proposal, would be rolled into your salary, because they are eliminating the allowances, and you're going to be now taxed on all of your pay. Right. No.
Yes.
For example, I'll give you an example of just one teacher on the trained graduate scale. Say, for example, a teacher has done 14 or more years.
Yes.
On as a trained graduate. They have a master's degree, and probably they're a teacher with special responsibilities.
Yes.
That teacher probably is an HOD, grade coordinator, just have some other responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
They are on the same scale as the teacher who just left university.
This is under the new scheme?
Yes. We would normally be there, but that teacher would have ended that scale already.
Yes.
That teacher would have ended that scale and would be receiving their
allowance. Yes.
Right. But based on that teacher would have covered an 11-point scale and have done some more years.
Yes.
Based on the new proposal, that teacher would fall at the level 3 on the band. That teacher would have just left college would be at 1.
So stay with me. So the teacher now who has the 14 years
or more,
plus you have a bachelor's degree, so you're in the...
So you have a bachelor's degree to be on that band.
Right. So
you have a master's.
Yes.
But say you don't have a responsibility outside of teaching. We do more than just teaching, but you are not getting an allowance for a teacher with special responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the teacher's salary that they calculated on the television last night. They calculated the teacher on the television that would fall in the band that just left university, that would have done maybe 1 or 2 years or more, right? And
mm-hmm.
the bulk of the, the increase is for the new entrants, because they're trying to, which is the right thing in one sense, to attract more persons to the profession.
Right.
But the veterans who are there, they're the ones who would not see anything looking like that amount. And also that amount will be paid over a 3-year period. It's not you don't get all of that one time.
So
over 3 years, you take to get that.
So make me understand though. Mm-hmm. Stay with me. The trained teacher with the bachelor's degree.
Right.
Under this new compensation. All right. Under the existing, i.e. the old system, you would take away how much per month when you include your allowance? Give me an idea.
It depends on, it's not a set amount. It depends on how many years you have done in the system, because we have yearly increments then you would have ended your scale. And if you're at the trained graduate scale, there is not another scale after that. So you would now earn seniority allowance. Seniority 1 after 2 years, seniority 2 after another year, and seniority 3, which is the last increase that you could possibly acquire on your salary. Or just you stop right there.
Right.
You get that money until you retire from the system, unless there is an increase in salary.
So let's say, for example, seniority 1, 2, and 3,
right,
they would end up with salary in a range of...
No, I still cannot tell you.
Still cannot tell me.
Determines if this person has a master's degree, also if this person has a post of special responsibility. So one mathematical calculation cannot cover all. Every stage you are, it would be calculated differently on the old system.
But that's the problem, though.
Right. So
that's the problem.
There is a problem with us agreeing for a better system of calculation. The problem comes in where all teachers will not benefit as how it is proposed.
So let me
the media.
Explain this to me then, teacher. Is it that the proposal under the new compensation scheme will see you, the teacher you're describing to me, which is a trained graduate, probably with a master's, at senior level 1, 2, or 3, will you end up taking home less money under the new system than you were taking home under the old system we intend to get rid of?
I would want to answer that question with a yes or a no. But the reason I cannot do that, no one has done any calculation to show us what we will actually get each person with their different circumstances. So we are at a disadvantage, not sure what it is that me as an individual will take home.
But how many different bands? I understand there are about 24,000 members of the group that voted yesterday, right?
Right.
So even though you have all of these different groups, I am sure there are some similarities across the 24,000 of you that some of you can say, okay, a trained graduate scale teacher, there are about 5,000 of us. And if you were on this particular scale, this is what you would take home. After the new compensation scheme, this is what you are likely to take home within the band of this sum. Nobody has done that calculation with that?
That has been done without taking in the additional allowances, which the plans would be based on the short time frame of bringing the information to the teachers and having to make a decision.
Yes.
Individual persons would not have got the time to get their individual situation calculated because it has to be an individual. All of you are in a similar position. You would have to have a calculation for yourself.
But if you don't know the calculation, why you voted no?
The no is voted based on the fact that the proposal that they're showing now, rolling in all of this, doing the calculation, the higher you up on the scale, it has already been shown that you are the one that is going to be disenfranchised.
Okay.
So the teachers that are in the system for a number of years, we are the ones that will never see that hospital.
Okay, hold on, teacher.
That has been established.
Don't move. Let me take a quick break. Coming to you right back on the hotline.
You're listening to Radio Jamaica, the voice of the nation. No matter who you are.
Thank you, listeners. Teacher, I'm going to ask you if it's possible for you to... Would you wish to leave your number with DT for me in studio? I really want to flesh this through with you. And if there are other teachers who want to join the conversation, if you can call and leave your number so we can call you back a little bit after 10 o'clock, only because I'm in the parking lot and I need to take an interview and I want to talk to you some more on this matter. Yeah? But I'll have a minute to go, teacher, before. So you're saying is most of the people who are like in the senior 3 who are afraid...
From senior
1, 2, 3
upward.
Yes.
A few years before that, before even reaching seniority, you fall in the category that will not be much of an increase on your salary. Based on the study that the finance minister said that was done, that determined how they would decide where you fall on the band. Right.
Does it help you at all that with the restructuring exercise, even though you say you won't be seeing much more in your pocket now,
Right.
that more will be going towards your pension because you have a larger portion on which you're paying taxes? Does it help you at all?
I don't depend on the government to do pension, to set a pension plan for me. I set up my own pension plan. So
Yes.
that is, even though that's there, that's no consolation to me, because I make sure that the little much that I have, I manage it well, and I'm saving.
No, but even if you're saving for your pension, teacher, you will be able to put more from what you get from the government into pension simply because of the increase that you're getting now on your gross pay.
You need to understand that the strain within the classroom doesn't guarantee you live into pension and and so I cannot be talking about money that I'm not going to know if I'm going to live. The job is so strenuous. The situations have changed with parents, other stakeholders, involvement with teachers and students, so much violent situation in the classroom. You were there to teach a participate, all kind of things that...
Hold on. I want you to give a number to DT. Last question before I go though.
Yes.
So what allowance have you lost or will you lose in the new compensation? Just traveling?
I would have lost the technology allowance. I would have lost the book resource allowance. I would have lost the special teachers allowance. They would have rolled in this special responsibility allowance and also the masters, because I have a master's allowance. So everything rolling.
So that's about how much money? Monthly?
I am not going to say that on here because I was upset that we are the only civil servants that say is always being publicized. And then it seems that... No,
teacher. That is because you are one of a small group who's rejected, because based on the number of people with whom they have to negotiate, they've closed deals with a lot, and so because you're out there, I think that is why your thing is out there. But give me an idea of the band that those allowances take you monthly in the quantum.
Well, repeat that question.
About how much monthly, all those allowances that you get, about how much monthly you take home from just those allowances. Give me a band between 40, 50,000 or what?
All right, I'm just going to quick calculation again.
You're getting a what?
I'm doing a quick calculation again.
Okay. Don't sound like you're a math teacher.
No, I'm not a math teacher, but I can do math.
Yes?
Yes, I'm not a math.
About how much?
I can do math. Based on all of those that I have listed for a person who would have acquired all of those.
Yes. Qualification.
Between 60 to 80.
60 to 80 on allowance, yes. All right. Hold on from you here, please. I want to keep talking with you and other teachers. Just give your number to DT if you're comfortable so we can rejoin. Let me take this call from location. Thank you. DT, do we have our teacher back there now? Let's see who we have. For DT, have to be multitasking, but I'm used to it. Hello, teacher, are you there?
Yes, good morning, Emily.
Morning. This is...
First, I am a regular listener, even though I'm a teacher.
It's good to have you.
Online, but it's the first I'm getting an opportunity to talk with you.
I'm delighted to have you, and I hear you are a senior teacher?
Yes, I am a senior teacher, a proud one too.
Yes, so this is senior 1, 2, or 3?
I am senior teacher 3.
Right, so that means you have a bachelor's degree?
You have a master's degree as well.
Master's as well.
I have a diploma, bachelor, master's.
Yes, diploma. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and tell me.
Now, I want to put the discussion to another level because there are some things that some people don't want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with the restructuring stem from the fact that there are several teachers who do not think that it is fair to them, and I'm going to tell you why. It is that band of teachers that fall in the trained graduate section.
Yes.
I want you to get an idea. You see, before the restructuring,
yes,
their current growth was 182,000 900 and something. That is before tax.
Yes,
and that
gross.
is a teacher, right? And I must make it clear, the allowances that those teachers get were always taxable. They were rolled in, even though they were called allowances, because they only, if you're not a senior teacher, the only allowance that you would have gotten would have been your book and software, as well as your special teacher allowance. So that, along with your basic salary, would have pushed them to 182,000.
Yes.
After pension, NIS, and pension, NIS, education tax, NHT, their net would have been 152,000. That is what exists now. And this is for a teacher, who is at the top of an 11-point scale. The increment is about $2,500.
And how often you get the increment?
Every year. So if a teacher who is just starting presently, you could multiply that 2,500 by 10, that would give you 22,500, put 2,000, that will give you 25,000. So if you subtract 25,000 from that 182, you'll end up with somewhere to
157.
Right, 157,000 as a gross salary, presently, No.
This is the entry-level teacher?
Yes, for the entry-level teacher
Gross.
with a degree, who is a trained graduate.
Yes.
Now I'm going to tell you what is happening now. You see that teacher who I told you about, who would have gotten the 182,000 gross?
That's the one at the top level.
Right. With the new system, because firstly, the new system is still providing an 11-point band, but they are saying that there are no teacher will be placed at 11. They are going to place, teachers are going to be placed, if you're at the top, you'll be placed at band 3 or band 4. No further than that. So, if you're placed at band 3, your salary, your gross salary, would move to 220,000. So that would be the highest paid graduate teacher under the new system that is being proposed.
But that is...
Hold on, let me finish.
Yes.
That person's net salary would now be $174,000.
Yes.
Which means that there's a difference of just 22,000. So that is where the problem is. So the teachers who have a problem now have a problem with the fact that you are going to take away their seniority in terms of the fact that they had 11 or 12. Some people have over 20 years experience. With this new system, it's not accounting for that, because if you're going to move somebody who was at the top of the same scale that and going to put them at band 4, band 3, sorry.
Yeah.
The persons must be upset.
No, but what is the value of level 11 versus band 3 if it is not meaning an awful lot more money for you? What is the value of it?
It makes, all right. It was an incentive that was designed by the system to take care of your years of experience within the system.
Yeah.
So it was an incentive. So each year,
yes,
after you get an incentive because of your experience as a teacher, it will have, I guess the forefathers thought that over the time you'd have become a better teacher, and as a result of that, they give you that as an incentive. But with the present system, they are just wiping out that.
No, but even if it's an incentive, what does it do for you when you get to the level and you get to age 50? So you're at level 11, you get to age 50, you have all the seniority under your belt. What exactly does it do for you in monetary terms or whatever?
But because of that, you'll be earning a little bit more. So in terms of your gross go up every year.
No, but from what you told me a while ago, teacher,
yes,
that person who is the trained graduate teacher, who is at about level 11,
right,
is now grossing under the system that is in existence 182,900.
Right.
But you have an increment yearly.
Yes,
of 2,500, right?
Yes, but when you reach level 11,
yes,
what happens is that you then go into a new system that they call that you qualify now for after 2 years
Yes.
for seniority 1, and then after another few years you go to seniority 2, and then you go to seniority 3.
But
So
when you
all
go to
those
seniority 1, what it means in terms of money now?
in terms of money,
Yes.
I think you get about it's about $5,000 or $6,000 each month additionally.
So
and remember,
this is
all
gross
these
or
monies are
net?
taxable, you know. All these money are
So
taxable.
this is gross.
Yes, this will be
Okay.
added to your gross, and it's taxable.
But hold
So
on now. Hold on,
Yes.
teacher. Because let me go back to the first base.
Mm-hmm.
You just told me that your net as a
Yes. For a
trained
teacher,
graduate. Yes.
For a teacher who is a trained graduate and at the highest point.
Right. So trained graduate at level 11,
Right.
their net, let me just write it.
182.
10
Yes.
trained graduate at level 11, their net is about 152 net.
Yes, that's what they take home. Right.
Right. Their gross is about 182,900.
Right.
This is under the current system that Nigel Clark wants to do away with.
Right.
But so this trained teacher now who is at level 11 is going to be moved to band 3 under the new system.
Right.
And under the new system, band 3, their gross is going to be 220,000.
Right.
Net is 152,000.
No, not 52.
Sorry, 174. Right. Sorry.
Right. Yes. Yes.
So 174 minus 152.
Right.
It means that under Nigel Clark's system, you are taking home $22,000 more monthly.
Right. Yes.
So the trained graduate teacher at level 11 is going to be better off by $22,000 monthly under Nigel's system.
Right.
So the senior teacher now at level 1 is going to be grossing.
No. The senior teacher, seniority and senior teacher are two different things, you know.
Yes.
When you're a senior teacher, you can be getting seniority without being a senior teacher. That's something completely different.
Okay.
The senior teacher is different from, I'm just referring to a teacher who marks the scale, who is not a senior teacher. That's the salary that exists at that level.
So that's level 11?
Right. Because you can't go beyond 11.
Okay.
Right.
But based on the math I just went through a while ago, why do you say you're not better off financially under Nigel's band 3?
Hold on. No. You see, we have to reason this thing differently. All right. Think about this. A few years ago, we were told by the same Nigel Clark that we cannot continue with this every 2-year negotiation. So we need a longer period for the government to settle down. And we bought into it. At the end of it, he suddenly said he did not ready for the reclassification, so he gave us another contract for 1 year. And then we were promised that we would be better off. Now, over that time period, in terms of the movement, $22,000 on a teacher's salary based on what is happening, Emily. We do not consider that to be reasonable. And I'm going to tell you on more than one basis. If you examine the movement as it relates to other persons within the public sector and even within the same teaching scale, persons have been moved more than that.
Yes.
That is the group of teachers who have the biggest problem, and it's the largest group of teachers.
But
so if it is, hold on.
Yes.
If it is that Nigel had sat down with the teachers and could come up with a compromise, how could we make the movement of this, which is the largest group of teachers, be more significant, owing to the fact that these are the same teachers who have to be paying more light bill, more taxes at a tax office, more everything, and have to be purchasing the food. Our purchasing power has been whittled away over the years. And you cannot tell me that you can have somebody else in the public sector who has a bachelor's degree and even have the same qualification, and you're talking about equity, and you're paying them at over 3.7 million, and we with the same qualification, you want to start out as 2 point something, and you think that is equitable?
So
it's not equity.
Let me ask you before I want to talk back to you, but I have somebody on location. So what I'm hearing from your teacher,
yes,
you will be better off financially by 22,000 by Nigel's package, but the problem you have is that when you look at other people in other sectors, they are getting more under the compensation scheme. Their increase is larger than the increase that you are getting.
That is the problem, regardless of how people want to let it sound. It's not that every single teacher, because there are teachers within the system where their movement, they are satisfied with it. So that is why you have people who vote for it. But the majority of the teachers who fall in that group, their movement is just too small.
But you can't, do you accept that you cannot make a jump? It is not realistic to want to have an increase on your net salary of, say, $50,000 net increase monthly in one go.
No. But there are persons, Emily, there are persons in the same country who have signed already from other groups where their net is far more than 50. Their net increase is far more than 50. And Emily,
like which group?
Like which group?
Mm-hmm.
Which group? I can tell you the nurses get more than $50,000 increase on their net. And I know that for a fact.
Okay.
They get more than $50,000 increase on their net pay.
Yes.
And Emily, the teachers are not unreasonable. But guess what? The reality is there are persons who are hiding behind and don't want to talk the truth.
No, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate your talk.
That is the group of teachers that are having a problem.
Yeah, but the problem I hear you having, though, and this is the difficulty I have.
Yes.
The problem is not that you are worst off in comparison to what will be the new you versus the old you. The problem is you're looking about you and seeing that other people are getting more, and that bothers you.
No. That's not the only thing that bothers us.
Yes.
We recognize that based on what the government has presented, it appears as if we are not as important with similar qualification as other people in other sectors. And we are saying the fact that we went to the same university at the West Indies, we did the same courses in many instances with the other person.
Yes.
So why is it my first degree value far less than another person's first degree?
Let me call you back. I like the sound of your argument. Thank you so much. Keep listening for the call. Thank you. Hello, sir. Mr. Long.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Again?
You come in a mask this time. I can't even see your face good. You come find me at the Wady Park Shopping Center outside Case Pharmacy.
Well, I'm not living too far from there.
Okay.
In walking distance. Okay. My concern is the overhead bridge on the boulevard there.
Yes.
It's good and it's bad. The bad part of it, right in the center of the bridge, the northern section of the bridge, there's a hole in it.
Yes.
Anybody can fall in it at any time.
What?
It's right in the center.
In the center of the overhead bridge?
The northern section of the bridge. Plus the billboard that they place on the two sides of the bridge.
Yeah.
Anybody can on the bridge and you don't see them.
Yes.
I get to understand that people all get robbed on that bridge also and whatever.
Goodness.
But it joined two communities.
Mm-hmm.
Mar Valley and Jerusalem.
Yes.
But my definitely concern is about the bridge.
Yes.
So I don't know who is the right person to approach or go. But in this scenario, I think something might be done towards it.
You come to the right place. I tell them to fix the bridge. I've only got 2 minutes. Good morning to you, Mr. Wesley Daly. Morning, Miss. You come from morning. I can't call my name. Thank you, Mr. Long.
Yeah, me always sit down and watch you go in the office. But me come look for you, say you little but you talawa.
I me talawa, Miss Lou.
I'm going to tell comrade, I'm saying she'll say you're interested in an old man. that me come and God. You said go call the old man.
Yeah.
Make the man Jack Case told me say escort me over.
Send for you.
Me a real celebrity today.
After all.
I've never had it so good.
So
better than yard.
Where you come to today?
Eh?
Pharmacy? You come a pharmacy?
No, I came to the pharmacy to pay me light bill and thing, but you know me. I heard you look before I left home. I live in Duane Park.
Yes.
So me say, I was telling somebody who helped me, so she said, you look for her. I say, yeah man, me look for me, she sees.
After all.
You know?
Be glad to see you.
Yeah, bud.
Walk safely home. I've got to go to the headlines and God bless you.
Yes.
All right?
So, I will come right hear me.
You don't want him here, but can you tell us something you see?
We did mark off with them.
Mark off every day him come cost me, but him jealous.
We did job with them.
Yeah.
And you give name that, me no idea you give that name, you know.
Comrade.
Comrade.
And a C-O-M-R-E-D we spell it. He's not R-A-D-E. He's R-E-D. Yes. Take care.
Yes.
Wesley Daly.
Yes, madam.
It's time. Take care.
I'm going to ask a personal question. Your son gone back to England.
Thank you, listeners. We're back with you on the hotline. I'm just looking at a pay slip for a senior teacher. I'm so interested in this. Senior teacher who is also head of department and been teaching for scores of years. Senior teacher too. I want to go back to that conversation. So sometimes, you know, all I want to talk about are the thing when me want to talk about. The teacher is on?
Hello?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, I'm here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. I have a teacher has sent me a pay slip here. I'm just trying to bring it up. I'm just looking at the gross pay for this teacher who is a teacher of scores of years, over 25 years, and head of department.
Like myself.
Like you?
Yes.
Right. Head of department and senior teacher too, but you were telling me that senior teacher is different from seniority?
Yes, I'm a senior teacher 3.
Okay, so you're a little higher.
Right.
So this person has a gross of approximately 139,000.
Right.
Then there is book, soft technical allowance.
14,000. Every teacher gets that allowance.
Okay, 14,000. Then there's protective clothing.
Yeah, that is for teachers who, like, I don't get that because I teach mathematics.
Oh, so if you don't like lab?
Lab, right.
Okay.
So like, yes, technical areas and lab.
Right.
That allowance.
So that's about 1,500, not much.
Right.
Then what's the responsibility allowance?
Responsibility allowance? Is the first I hear of that one.
Okay, so there's a sum there for approximately 16,000 for responsibility allowance.
Oh, no. That is the senior teacher allowance. It's a post of special responsibility. Sorry. What it's called, it's a post of special responsibility. That's what the senior teacher actually is.
Oh, and that's different from seniority allowance?
Yeah, that's different, yes.
Okay, and then there's special teacher allowance.
Yeah, this was an allowance that we got when we had. You remember that time when teachers were moved within 80% of
private sector?
Right. So what they did at the time, they had placed the different groups of teachers, and an allowance was given based on your qualification. So if you had a diploma, you'd have gotten a different one as a degree.
Right. So, and there's also transport allowance for about 17,000.
Yeah, that was given to like all senior teachers, 1, 2, or 3. If you have a post of special responsibility, you usually get an allowance, a traveling allowance of 17,830.
But with the traveling allowance, it doesn't mean that you're going to be going to another school apart from the one that you're posted at.
No, but the concept behind that allowance was that as a senior teacher, there are times when you're required to go to like the ministry, to different meetings and different seminars. So that allowance was predicated on that basis at the time.
Yes. So this teacher, the pay is similar to what you told me. So you have a gross sum, which in this one is about 139.
Right. That would have been the level. That would have been what the salary was if you were at point 11.
Okay.
on the grad scheme.
Right. And then on top of that, this looks like about 60,000 approximately in allowances.
Right.
So then that takes the gross to 222, which is in line with what you told me.
Mm-hmm. Right. So hold on here.
Yes.
Remember, in the past, some of our allowances weren't taxable. But I don't remember the exact year. But I think it's since this government, if it's not Nigel, it was when Ardley Shaw was in power. It was at that time that they decided that all allowances should be taxable. But originally when these allowances started, they used to be paid separately. In terms of they had their salary, but they were not taxable. But it was this JLT government who changed it to making them taxable. So presently, they're rolling in. It doesn't really make a difference because they were just there as allowances, but we were paying taxes on all of them.
Yeah, so but isn't it that the income tax threshold is what, as you understand it?
Well, the income threshold is you pay 25% tax on anything earned above 1.5 million.
Above 1.5, yes.
Right, yes.
So the first 1.5 million, no taxes at all.
Right, and that applies for every government worker, not just teachers.
And I think and everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. So even though you're looking at the payslip now, and your payslip where you told me the gross sum, I'm looking for the gross yearly sum so I can know at what point.
The gross yearly sum, you could have simply multiply the 139,000 by 12.
No, but you told me that all the allowances were taxed as well, so you don't add the allowances.
But hold on. Yeah. When the salary is negotiated, the allowances are treated differently from salary. That's how it used to be. The allowances. So when you're talking about the scale that teachers are moving from,
yes,
it would not include the allowances being added.
Yes.
But when the total that I've given you was when the allowance was added to the basic salary.
So based on what you told me a while ago, this teacher, 139,000 gross monthly.
Mm-hmm.
When I multiply it by 12, I get 1,668,000 yearly.
Right.
Based on the income tax threshold, 1.5 million out of that, this teacher will not be paying any taxes on.
No. But remember, Emily, because they roll in all the other allowances to basic salary, your salary is computed as a total and not just as a basic salary.
Right. That's why I'm asking you if I should add the So all of the allowances here that I just read out to you, the 6 of them, I have to add those into the gross pay.
Right.
And then multiply it by 12 and then take away 1.5 million out of it.
Right.
Okay. All right, teacher, hold on. I have to take another thing on pesticide control. We're going to call you back because you are the hotline today, plus the other teacher that I have, yeah? We really want to understand this some more. Stay with us when we come back, Pesticide Control Authority. It's so good to see my people when I'm out on the road. I have 2 of my regular callers right in front of me. It's good to eyeball them. Egg in a buckle? Hold on a second. Let me make sure. Say that again.
Egg in the buckle here in Dueneva.
Look at you. Egg in the buckle. How you look like now?
Look like myself.
No, man. It's like a rabbi.
Well.
With a long beard. Come take a picture of him. The listeners have to see him. Egg in a buckle. Be glad to see you. It's long time you don't call me.
I'm trying to go through until yesterday because there are so much important things.
Yes.
That it can't talk to the alone, but I'll show you the disability problem we have in here. And if you just step a little bit up there, you see the doctor, they block the walkway for the disability. The police over there, I bring it to their attention a lot of time, but they do say, yes, I'll do it. But our disability law come like you should just light it on fire and throw it away.
So they're blocking the area.
Yes, because this community built with a sidewalk. That when you knock with the stick, your sound react.
Yes.
You can't go on the sidewalk and walk, and you can't go on the other side and walk.
Why?
Because you don't get a response. You have the wall to guide you, and the walkway, you knock the sick in front of you, you know you're on the walkway. You lick two sides, you're on the walkway.
Yes.
So our disabled people suffering. Our senior people are suffering. There's a gas distributor right there at the corner, which is illegal. The fire brigade not doing their job.
Wow.
Local government not doing their job.
Yes.
Because covenant breaches all over the place. They fail to carry out this job. The police fail to carry out their job, and the corners, they just prosecute a few people. But on that corner, if you just get up and walk along there and look at what you see in front of the police station.
Yes.
I spoke to them. I'm a member of the consultative committee. I'm a member who helped start that police station.
Yes.
So I'm concerned about my community. I'm in here for 40 odd years occupied, but I was here before.
Yes.
So I'm concerned about the whole covenant and the thing that happens in Jamaica.
And disregard for people with disabilities.
Yeah, and one more very important thing I want to jump it in.
Yeah.
You see, between ferry and the quarry, there's a big piece of Greenland.
Yeah.
You look, you see the color woman coming. I understand they're removing them off now to put housing. It's one of the wickedest things you could happen in Jamaica. No other soil in Jamaica as good as the one in ferry. Back round, go round to the Ideal School, go round. And the river is there. Jamaica short of water now.
Yes.
That area for agriculture would produce more legume or anywhere else.
They're broken ground for?
No, they started to serve notice to the Kalaluma and them who occupied. Yes, said they're going to build a house. Even the one on the river bank, which is wrong.
Yeah.
Every river and gully, we are suffering now.
Yes.
Everybody living on the gully bank. You're supposed to be 40 feet from each bank. And right now we are suffering from Sandy Gully, go right up.
Yes.
Because that is the only way for emergency vehicle to travel, go as far as to where the Prime Minister live up the top. Way up the top of the gully where the Sandy Gully go up. You can travel on that side, you can bring sewage from that side, and you can bring high power there because it's a straight lane back to the pumping station, right to Riverton City and go down. And they just occupy, everything just occupy political attention both sides of the way.
Yes.
Not is for the people. It is not for the people.
A lot to do.
Under the law, nobody is there to enforce the law.
Yes.
And in the community, you get a bad name when you enforce. Because one lady said, "Me's a little lion in a small pen. We can't do nothing because the trailer blocked the way. The park trailer, you know. And the police failed to move it. I can't tell any one of them over there. Only police and during the park police. Wow. Even though I'm getting bad name and threatened, I don't care.
So what am I threatening you for?
Because the vehicle park in a bad location.
Yes.
And when you can hide behind it and rob people. Any park vehicle, big one.
Yes.
But if you look across, you see what Water Commissioner done here now. The mayor build up that. It's a park that. See him build it up and leave it. If you look across, the children play in the back. So you eyeball and the children reduce. So if they hurt our children, the mayor responds to them. See put in market in the park, and there's a big lot of land for the market.
Oh, those are the shops there?
Yeah, those are the things he put up there. You see, when they don't have the money, they don't have to find the money to spend somewhere and don't be accounted for like the Prime Minister. You understand? There's money waste there because I don't need it. That's a park, that's not a market area.
Well, all right. A lot to look into. Hold on. Franklin. Franklin's here. How is Franklin, Mama's boy?
I won't complain.
I can't hear you now. Hold on a second. I'm not hearing Franklin at all.
First time on radio. I'm a bit shy.
First time live. Hold on. We still not hear Franklin good. Tony, let's go again, Franklin.
Are you hearing me now?
Much better. Thank you so much. Good to hear you. Good to see you.
Right.
Where are you driving to today?
I'm going up to East Kirkland Heights, trying to make a living.
Yes. Hold on again a buckle, because we have something nice to give you right here. Yes, you're going to East Kirkland Heights, driving past, and you had to come and see me.
Yeah,
it's so good to see what you look like. Yes. Yes, nice. Anything you want to tell me? Anything in particular to share with me before me give again a buckle this?
My issue is the new Road Traffic Act. I mean, you could send the prices up to $1 million per infraction.
Yes.
If you are not catching the people, it makes no sense.
Well, them catch a man this morning, 74 outstanding tickets and nearly run up in a DCP Bailey. So them take him in. But it's few and far between the catching because I don't think there's any no cameras.
Each time I drive along and see people, whether it be taxi men or regular, just the attitude towards the road, the risk, even pedestrians. Like for example, the light will say green and still somebody's crossing. So let's say this vehicle pass, you are crossing up, you are hit down. We just need to. I was born way back when, and my mother would tell me, you don't cross before a parked vehicle. Make certain you have vision. And now today, postmodern time, everything is available. You see people doing the very same thing.
I know.
Some wondering with all the laws, where is the public education? We need to have that. We need to have that. And as this gentleman was talking about, he said, look, I remember when those were dwelling houses, we have the change of use. And we just see just the whole level and discipline that is taking over. Just the things, just no real order.
Yeah. No, I think a lot of people need to challenge the breach of covenant with some of these high-rise buildings going up. It's quite sad, really, to see what's taking place. You have your house, your flat, family home, and people just pop up in front of you with them 3-4-story high monstrosities.
No, but the other thing again.
No notice.
I work in the industry. When they create their own sewage system, sometimes it's not being. Have you driven like along coming on Stony Hill Road? How that place smells swagey at times?
No, I've not passed it in a long time.
Just try to next day pass it. Just early morning, just try to smell the place. It's swagey because of the individual sewage system that they put in place and improper treatment.
Yes.
So all of those things coming into play.
All right. Thank you. Good to see both of you. I think we have some tokens here. The tokens have just come. Again, in a buckle, you want this one?
Thank you very much.
Yes, lovely. If you go drink your tea. You drink tea this morning?
It is grateful that
what kind of tea you drink?
I drink any tea at all.
So you want this?
I just coming from a doctor.
Doctor?
Yeah, man. My heart specialist.
Well, doctor say tea good for bust gas.
Yeah, man.
Put some surge me heart. Eh? All the bush, that is you. Yes, here you go. Thank you. Which one you want now, Franklin? You want the hat or you want the buckle?
I take the hat.
You don't take the egg in a buckle?
No. But I'm a coffee person. I must have at least 2 10-ounce cup every morning. No sugar, no cream.
Oh, good.
Just as dark as ever.
Yes.
And no instant coffee either.
I wake on a natural high, so I don't need coffee.
That's my energy booster.
Good to see you, Franklin.
Nice meeting you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
And tell Comrade to eat his heart out.
Oh, I'm telling you, he really is going to do that.
Yeah, he's going to go crazy.
Yes. Huh? Thank you. I'm honored to meet you as well. Thank you so much. We are going to have Peter Rose Hall from BPM Financial in just a moment. How are you, my beautiful lady? Hi, thank you. All right, we're going to go to a break. Yes, take care, Franklin. Oh. We're back with you on the hotline, listeners. Cool breeze now. Beautiful. It's getting nice and cool. Well, cooler here. We're still coming to you live from K's Pharmacy. It's Duane Park Shopping Center. We're right outside, as I said, in the parking lot. DT, you know I had to go sit and eat my lunch because I'm very, very, very particular about the little morsels that I have. So, welcome to all of you. You know, we interview people when we're on location. I interviewed Egina Buckle earlier on, who lives in and around the area. And he mentioned a number of things that are not going right in the community, including, he said, a gas station, which he made an allegation about its mode of operation. And we were visited by the owner of the gas station, who wants, well, the dealer, beg your pardon, the dealer, thank you, Anna K, who he joins us now to ensure that whatever has gone out, there's a chance to clarify. And I'll also tell you that we made our own checks in relation to what the gas dealer has said, and we will tell you that in a moment. So can I just thank you so much for joining me, Devon Daly, owner of the gas operation here. close to the Duane Park Shopping Center. Hi, Mr. Daly.
Yes, Emily.
Yes, thank you. Very well, thank you. I'm so sorry I didn't get to see you specifically when you came, but thank you for coming over. You want to debunk something that one of the visitors to my program said?
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is something that has been going on a long time. He has been saying that we are illegal, right? Yeah. And that is not true, because I am an authorized dealer from IGL, and you can verify that by IGL.
Yes. We did speak with IGL to Zasha McKay, the trade development rep there in Kingston, who has verified that you are authorized dealer from IGL.
Right.
You've been there for how long now, Mr. Daly?
It's about 5 going 6 years.
Right. So the dealership is authorized, and the location, do you need to get approval as to where the building is going before you get the authorization?
Right. And also tax compliance. I've registered with the business center there. So I am not doing anything illegal.
Okay.
The last time he has done it already, and he has said it on Clip Use program that he called KCC, he called fire, he called couple places as well.
Yeah.
And even even the environmental people came there last year to come and check.
NEPA,
right. Mm-hmm. Thank you. And some police came there, khaki suit, came there to check, and I sent them to IGL, so they had verified that already before.
Yes.
And he's still doing this. And this is and this simply means this is affecting business when he put out something like this.
Yeah, well, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that went out, but I'm happy that you're able to come over, and we could, so soon as possible, accommodate you for the clarification. But is there anything at all on the sidewalk in front of your establishment? Because he was making some complaints about some things on the sidewalk as well.
There's nothing on the sidewalk. You can pass there and look now. There's nothing on the sidewalk. It's clear.
Yes.
There's nothing on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
All, as a matter of fact, the jump on is there that I put out there. That's when the people they're passing by, they don't throw the garbage on the ground.
Right.
They throw it in the garbage bin.
Right. And by being a dealer, what does that mean? What kind of gas you sell?
We sell
cooking gas?
Cooking gas.
Yeah. In what sizes?
We sell 25, 30, and we sell 100.
Okay. That's right. And that business is going on well?
It's doing okay.
Yes. What's the name of the business?
A&E Cooking Gas.
A&E Cooking Gas. Well, you've got a lot of publicity on the hotline here. Everybody in and around Duane Park who didn't know about A&E, they know now. So I think when anybody needs some cooking gas, they'll be coming here to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Daly, for the clarification, and my absolute apologies on that. You hear?
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Yes, you're more than welcome. Thank you. And yes, as I said, Zasha McKay at the IGL head office. She's a trade development representative for Kingston and St. Thomas. IGL has confirmed that it is a legitimate dealership, an authorized IGL dealership that is here. Thank you so much, Devon Daly, for coming on to talk with me. This is the hotline. When we come back, an abbreviated X and Y, because the place full up, you know. We've got to go 5 minutes with X and Y because it's quite hot here, but breeze come on. Look like rain are going to fall. And I can't wait to stand up in the rain. Why?
I looked at the running order and I saw this bold X and Y at 12:30, and I said to myself, but how can there be X and Y on the running order? I'm not there.
Where you there?
Me just not here. I am not here.
Well, I wonder if any teacher there at school will take register.
Maybe the security guard will help you on that one. But
Daniel Zachariah Thompson.
Present.
No, you have to say present. You're not here.
No, man.
Absent, miss.
No, but when you call them kind of name, they know. Daniel Zachariah.
Emily Euphemia.
No, by the way, you know, it seems as though when we say different things as they were said in the past, especially in the rural parts of Jamaica, we have to now make translations so that people like Anna Kay can understand. I said to Anna Kay the other day, a foul landman for tie string of them foot. I think Kimberly was in here as well. And
Kimberly worse can understand that. Anna Kay will understand, but not Kimberly.
Well, they were at a loss. So I had to really translate it.
A foul landman for tie string of foot.
So you would now have to say, the chicken teach men to tie string at their feet. So I was explaining. You remember I told you the story.
Which makes no sense in English, by the way.
It doesn't.
No.
Careful, can't teach anybody. But this, you remember I told you the story though.
About the foul land somebody?
Foul land man to tie string of them foot. Oh, you don't remember? Yeah.
Tell me again.
I was explaining to them that usually almost every house would have fowl, common fowl growing all around.
Yes.
Yeah, right. And the different people would farm, plant them corn sometimes, and the fowl would go and scratch it out. So when complaints come across now, they decided that one of the best way to prevent the fowl from scratching is to get a piece of string, very strong. I think in those days they used something like what was called English cord.
Oh?
Yes. And they would tie it across the 2 feet.
What?
No, you can't say 2 feet. The 2 foot of the fowl. Yeah, like a shackle.
You have to say 2 foot them.
Yeah, 2 foot, right. You have to tie.
That's the plural in Creole.
Yeah,
foot them.
And you can't say a cross neither. You type on the 2 foot.
Cross.
Yeah.
What?
So
then the fowl couldn't move.
They could move. They could move, but they couldn't scratch because they would sort of need that leeway to do the scratching. And so they would walk around and pick and find stuff to eat. So if the corn were at the top of the soil, then they would pick that up.
But
once it is buried,
I think that is what you would call foul play. Dreadful.
Playful.
Awful. Oh, God. How cruel can we be?
No, I don't think that was cruel.
No.
It's just ensuring that,
But fall off a scratch, man. Fall off a scratch.
But here the other side to the story now. So if you never find some way of securing your fall, you can't keep them in the coop because then you know we'll have to go find corn for them. Because so one of the best ways to have them moving around and find things on their own is to just put that little string across the foot and prevent them from going over the neighbor house or the neighbor place and scratch out them corn.
Yeah.
Because what some people used to do is to turn cornmeal and just drench it with salt. So
drench what with salt?
Not the cornmeal, man. So you put all a pound of salt in one little bit of corn. Yes, and once the fowl start eating,
what happened?
It puff up them craw, them swell and dead.
Oh no! You know, DT, me can't deal with you with the cruelty to the animal, them, you know. Oh God!
That was cruel. I do agree with you. That was cruel.
But that's the same thing them do with pepper. Every time you mention an animal to me, it ends up dead. Oh God!
No. Pepper was not placed in the pot. I didn't make up that story there.
Oh, thank God for that. No, dreadful.
You perhaps will have to tell Anaki about pepper.
No, I will never ever repeat that. It really makes me go.
No, the little boy couldn't catch pepper to put pepper in the pot.
Oh, thank God for that. Thank God. My brother sent me a note last night, Tracy. And Tracy is saying to me, Emily, when you go on X and Y tomorrow, ask DT why we always, with uncle or whatever, when them tell story, them say, Massa, somebody pinch me and tell me, say, I pay a pinch as we have a country, you know?
No. I want a little bird.
One little bird, yeah. One little bird whisper something to me, you know, but everybody I get pinched.
Yeah.
What is this pinching all about?
All it was about is don't have the will to be confidential.
Yes.
So somebody told them something perhaps secretly and they didn't want it to be told to anybody else.
Yeah.
Them come now and tell him.
Whisper it. Just whisper it. That's right. That is right. Well. More, I think we have to come back to base here. A lot of people sort of milling around. So for today, that's X and Y. You have some teachers lined up there for me? DT, some more teachers to come?
No more teachers yet.
No more teachers yet. I really want to drill down to this matter. Time is always going to be a challenge, but we'll see what we'll get through. That's X and Y for today. Welcome back to the hotline, and thank you so much for staying with us. I'm meeting one of the Twittercrats. Yeah, Lady K, who is on Twitter. Good to see you. You're tall and elegant and just, this is what, size 2?
No.
Size 0 then. 4 or 6, my foot. Looking lovely. So good to see you. All right, take care. Yeah, we don't have a long time to go here. So let me see what this gentleman I know. Same one come see me. Quickly, you know what you're not to talk about on air, but me just glad to see you. We have on darkers for your future bright. Eh? You can't manage the light. Hurry up and talk up to me. Come me dainty. Yeah. What is your name, sir?
They call me King Josh.
Yes.
Intake Stove Master Service.
Yes.
So we...
Where's your business?
We're located in Kingston 20 era.
Yes.
And we...
So you listen. I don't want to hear too much about the what you do just yet.
Uh-huh.
But tell me, you listened to this program, you left your business to come here today?
Yes, we left your business to come here today.
What you want? You come advertise for your business?
We come to see you too.
Oh, two?
Yeah.
Me I just the 2 part.
Not really. Well, whenever time you're up on the radio, your program you listen to all the while.
Yes, good to know.
Yeah, so, you know.
Yeah. But how is business after the pandemic and so forth?
Well, we try to stay above water because if you don't do that, you sink.
Yes.
Yeah, with this government, I promise you this and promise you that. You look a man out the road not seeing it.
Yeah.
You know?
You not see the prosperity?
No, me not see nothing. Me not see nothing. And them alone I see because they have 3 help on them yard.
You don't have none?
No, me not have none.
Your shirt white though, so who wash the shirt for you?
Me know if you wash, then teach me.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And your belly big, how your belly so big and you know how to
soda me drink.
That's the problem. You so have diabetes. You know, here, so you must back off of them thing there.
No, well, as me say, you know, me soon want to go doctor right now.
But quickly now,
yes.
Tell me, you alone run this business?
Yeah, in a sense, but me have a team with me.
Why is not you alone then?
A backup team, like if we get a contract with the hotel and then place that we can.
Right.
Yeah.
How long ago you started the business?
Couple of years.
Yeah, so it's going on after all of what has happened, still going.
Try to stay above water.
I love to see that.
Yeah.
You're a young person. What age group are you in? Between what?
No, I'm not young
40?
man. I'm over 40. When you reach 40, go down, you know, you're whole.
I'm over 40 and I'm not going down with you. So get it straight. When you are fling stone in a hog pen, be very careful. I am not going down with you. But you're holding your own with the business, which is quite good.
Yeah, I'm holding my own with the business.
I'm proud of that.
So if anybody want stove fixing and with the fridge works, with the whole thing, there's a number they can call 499-3531. Or they can Google Intake Stove at yahoo.com.
All right. Look at you getting free ad on the
so
hotline.
the phone number again,
No. We hear the number.
499-3531.
We hear the number. Our stove no brought down. Thank you very much. Good to see you.
Yeah.
All right. Take good care. Let me have a quick word with this lady from Twitter. Bless of yourself. Thank you so much and continue. Yes, a young man in business. It's sometimes very difficult. Come over here, Lady K. This lady listened to me on the hotline. She tweets my stuff. She's been wanting to see me do the dirt bones forever. Me a practice. Tyreek supposed to come studio.
It's
come
been
teach me.
2 years.
2 years. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. What do you do? You look so nice and petite and blah blah.
I'm a registered midwife, so I deliver babies.
You?
Yes.
How long you been in midwifery?
3 years.
You liking it?
Yes.
Nice. About how many babies have you delivered so far?
Honestly, I'm not sure.
A lot.
Quite a few.
But do you do it on your own or you have some people with you?
No, we do it on our own. Unless we run into difficulties, a doctor will assist. But
look at
it's
that.
midwives that deliver majority of the babies.
I don't think I've seen many young midwives. What drew you to it?
I think it's my love for children on a whole.
Yes.
And when I learn about midwifery, because I mean, overall, it's not something that we knew much about. You just heard about the nursing.
Mm-hmm.
So when I learned about it, I just figured,
yes.
But this makes sense.
Yes.
It's not really the general nursing, it's specialized cares for women and children. So.
That's excellent. In my country, we had one midwife, Miss Polly.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, when they went into labor, they used to send for Miss Polly, who would come to the house. So I've never really met any midwife until I went to Mandeville Hospital, I think, the other day.
Okay.
And heard about the mid. So it's brilliant meeting you and happy you're in this interesting sort of profession. You think you'll stay in there?
I think so.
Good. And then why is it that you have to slap the babies when they pop out for them to cry?
I mean, it's not that we have to slap them, but I mean, you want to get the lungs to expand.
Yes.
But we usually suction them first because you have to clear the airway.
Yes.
And then we have to, because you want to stimulate the cry. So
right.
It's not abuse.
No.
There's purpose behind it.
So I heard. Good to see you, Lady
And it's not
K.
every baby gets a slap.
No,
just the ones that we need to get to breathe within a minute.
Oh, that minute is crucial.
Crucial.
I've never quite understood it. How babies breathe in that amniotic fluid.
Well,
it's one of the greatest marvels.
Yes.
Which is why you can have water birth, no?
Yes.
Because children can literally breathe in water. They've been doing it for that entire period in the womb. So one day we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Good to see you, Lady K from Twitter.
How you do it?
Yeah, me clean. Everybody
no,
know this.
I'm ready for Tyree getting a DT. Don't rock with me on DT. Listen to DT, I play boats. Good to see you. Good to see you. No, DT is a real set on, you know. Do you think me I go come in so right in a Duane Park shopping center, Condo Bones? Are you know the day? No. When I'm doing dirt DT, you've got to be there.
But no dirt, not in the studio.
Oh, God. No dirt, not in the studio. All right. Hugh Mall. I've got a couple minutes to go. Let me see who these lovely ladies are who've turned up here to see me. Come over here. Oh, no, come over here. Come talk up to me.
I was looking for an older person.
You're looking for an older person?
I was looking for an older person. I love to listen to you, Miss Lucy.
Who ya?
And comrade.
When you say me young, talk
I'm
up.
talking to old somebody. I said I was come see you this morning.
You did think me old too?
Yes.
You're from Sav? And you think me old?
Yes. I love to listen to you. You're not on the radio, I vex. I don't love to listen to Mr. Taylor.
You don't love Mr. Taylor?
No,
I'm a bird of that.
Miss Shield.
Oh, no, so you're not old, Tada?
Miss Shield is the first I'm meeting you and seeing you.
Me too. What is your name?
I am from Westmoreland in Caves.
In Cave, that's right. Beautiful. I know Cave.
I see you.
I have to drive through Cave to go to my bush.
Okay.
Up Grange. You know Grange?
Yes, I don't know there.
When you reach a Hartford, you know Hartford?
Yes, I know there.
You know come from Westmoreland?
Yes,
Cave.
I know there.
You know there? You see your old Tada?
Yes.
You
travel all your country.
Yes.
Paris.
Yeah. What is your name now, ma'am? Wait. Let me hear her.
Elaine Mackenzie.
Good to see you, Miss Mackenzie. So the whole lot don't think me a old somebody.
Yes.
So me sound old pan radio? Eh? Yes. Be glad to see you know. Yes.
Happy to see you.
Oh, no, look nice. Yes. All right. Big up. Oh, nice. God bless you.
Yeah, whenever she come out.
All right. Take it. Come. See you in the bag. Me now give you none. Because you see you not like Mr. Taylor and my brother. Oh, no, to what other. Here. God bless you know. God bless you. Take care. Savlamar, yes. From Savlamar. Yes, sir. Who is this gentleman now? Eh? Mr. Bailey? Oh, the bearer?
He's come from the area.
Oh, from the area. Okay. I think you say, think the Bailey. What name? The one where laughs, say, hey, 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 hey. What name again? Tony?
You want this or you want to give
Yes, come. Tony, appear cockroach sound like it in my ears when the TV no station good. Mind you lose some points, you know, Tony. Thank you so much, listeners. Where's my list, Anarchy? Thank you for having joined us here today. Where's the brethren who did that video me? Thank you so much to K's Pharmacy. Thank you to all of you for accommodating us right here at the Duane Park Shopping Center. It's really a lovely place. The mountain range right to my left, that I think, I'm not even going to try to see what direction that is because I'm going to get it all so wrong. It has been my pleasure. Thank you as well to the lady who brought me the 2 papaya. God bless you. God bless you. Soon Monday morning. Take care. Please come back with us tomorrow. I won't be here, but one of my colleagues will be sitting in for me. Have yourselves a great afternoon. I'm Emily Shields.